Okay, guys, good morning. Good morning, everybody. All right, guys, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Good to hear everybody. It's good to hear everybody this morning. How many persons are on? All right. Hello, hello, everybody. Good morning to you. Good morning to you. Share the live, share the live, share the live, share the live, guys. A lot of things, a lot of things happening. They're saying, right. Yeah. Yeah. Good morning to everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Um, Destiny Child. Good morning. Um, GH, good morning. Linda Hector. Good morning to you. Uh, Mina. Good morning. Gary Hughes. Gailey Hughes. Joe blows on as well. Cherry. Good morning. Good morning to everybody. Good morning. Good morning to everybody. God is very good. Locked in during or after the program. Yeah. Welcome, 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 everybody. Welcome. Let me just see if I could get this thing organized here. So, school children apparently is saying that the UNC is in problems. I don't know. You guys from Trinidad and Tobago will have to let me know about that. School children is now saying that the UNC is in problem. They're saying that Munilal had demanded some emergency talks. There's some kind of threatening some kind of revolt inside the camp. I don't know. Anybody from Trinidad, let me know what's happening with that issue with UNC. They're saying the UNC cabal is in problem. Um, yeah. Anybody from Trinidad, give me an update on that. School children sent some information to me this morning. Tiran, they're saying that the UNC cabal is in problems. They're saying people are calling on Kamala, you know, to step up because she's working from home and playing what games on WhatsApp. I don't know. I don't know. A lot of comments, sometimes you get these things out of people. People send me these things, say school children say that, or school children say this and that and that and that and yada. It happens all the time. French Horn says, did not know Ernesto. Ernesto means serious or determined. Yeah, that's what it means actually. That's why I tell people, the realists out here and come to these things. A lot of people joke around. Um, I'm having somebody working on some different internet communication methods for me because it seems like the networks do have some serious problems in this part of the vineyard. Francis Wells says, I hear they call in a meeting to get rid of Kamla. Kamla needs to resign, a disgraceful PM. That's on somebody waiting to hear more. Yeah, some school children, this is what school children say. Can't verify any of this. Gotta let you know that, right? I cannot verify any of this information. Can't verify any of it. I'm telling you what school children in Trinidad is saying. And when this is school children in the Caribbean, we have a saying, school children say. That's when the comments on the road or the talk on the road is. Okay? That's what it means when people say school children say and school children say. This is not verified information, school children saying this. It says United National Congress Deputy Political Leader Dr. Munilal is said to be leading a group of MPs who are increasingly dissatisfied with Prime Minister Kamla Prasad Bises's leadership. I like that name though, Munilal. I like this surname, Munilal. Is it Munilal? Am I correct? Am I pronouncing it right? Munilal. I like that. I like that. Munilal. That sounds like a serious guy. I don't know. Am I pronouncing his name correct? Those of you from Trinidad, am I pronouncing it correct? All right. Trinidad here, UNC has always been given trouble, and they will continue to in this time. True, it seems. Okay, Francis says I'm pronouncing it right. Yeah, I like that name. Munilal. Sounds like a serious guy. Munilal. Yeah, guys. So let me continue with what school children sent for me. I'm trying to get back the information. Hold on a minute, huh? Yeah, school children, before we get into other matters that is happening around the region. Yeah. Oh, that man, Alan said, true, go figure. Yeah, right. So, school children said that the sources confirmed that Munilal has demanded emergency talks last night, warning that if the prime minister refuses, a number of MPs are prepared to stage what one insider described as a full-scale caucus revolt. So it seems like there's real problems inside there. Munilal, this is what school children say, that Munilal actually asked for a meeting last night and warning that if the Prime Minister refuses, a number of MPs are prepared to stage what one insider described as a full scale caucus revolt. So it looks like they want to cause a full scale revolt inside the party, which means that the party could be having a lot of problems. But I can't, like I said, this is unverified information. This is just what school children is saying. Those of you from Trinidad will have to let me know if this is true or this is real information. They also said that the unrest stems from growing frustration among senior government ministers over the prime minister's continued isolation at her home in Siparia. Hold a minute. Is the prime minister working from home? Is the Trinidad prime minister working from home? I don't know. I have been hearing that from different people, but I don't know if, you know, Munilal. Okay. Munilal. Okay. Lot of money, man. Munilal. Munilal. Right. I'm hearing that the prime minister is working from home. Anybody from Trinidad can she's working from home a lot. I don't know if it's true. Anybody could you click on the link that's provided up there in the chat section and join me. Let me get that let me get some feedback out of Trinidad. I want to hear people from Trinidad. Click on the link. I pinned it in the chat section. Um, Pin it up. Click on it and come on and join me in the live. I want to hear a couple people from Trinidad talking about this. All right. Let me just right. Let's continue. Let's continue. Okay, so that is what they're saying. Okay. Okay. So somebody says yes. Facts. She does work from home. Look for the way marks as we journey on. That's actually correct. Celan Nanton. Celian. Is this Celian from in Canada? From St. Vincent, who is in Canada, I think, or the US. I can't remember. Celian Nanton. If that is so, let me know. Click, give me a thumbs up if that is true. I hope this is the same Nanton I know from Kittel, St. Vincent. All right. Somebody says she normally works from home because she's getting around for her. Getting around for her is difficult. She has problems walking. Oh, okay. I got you. Last time she had a helicopter that she used to get. Okay. She's mostly working from home. Leave Trinidad out of your mouth. All right. So immediately, Trini Wolf TV. We don't deal with cyberbullying, and we don't deal with that kind of language on this channel. So immediately, um, you you will not have a space on this channel. That individual from Trini Wolf TV or something like that, you'll be blocked immediately. So you will not be blocked. This user, you will be put on block. Matter of fact, I'm not gonna block you. I'm gonna put you on timeout on YouTube. So you will not be able to. Yeah, yeah, we're gonna put you on timeout. We don't tolerate that sort of behavior around here. You've been placed on timeout for a little while. We don't tolerate that kind of nasty behavior. You see us, we are a group of people here who talk to each other. We do that, right? So Okay. Right. So we don't do that around here, Trini Wolf TV. You've been placed on timeout from this channel. YouTube doesn't like to have people who are rude and nasty around here. All right. So let's continue. Yeah. Munilal is very corrupt. Okay, okay, okay. Watching from Antigua and Barbie, the child of God. She stated that she would do this a few. Okay, all right. Well, school children seem to be wanting to create problems for Kamla, so we leave that alone right there. All right. Well, my friend, real people do real things. I'll tell you something, my friend. A lot of things school children know. School children does not mean literal school children. Let me educate you on Caribbean parlance if you don't know what it means. In the Caribbean, when we say school children say, that is word on the street, that is information coming from people who are within a certain group who will know what is happening in that group. And that's what we say school children. All right. So it doesn't mean like as in literal school children. It doesn't mean literal school children. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't literally mean school children. I'm trying to give you Caribbean parlance and hope you could understand what I mean. It doesn't mean literal school children. It means that a group of people who are close to somebody will be able to say something about what's going on in that group. All right? All right, good. Here we go. Someone says, lots of allegations on him. He's a bit, okay, all right, okay, okay. I keep informing you other Caribbean people in Ghana and Trinidad share the same ethnic. Okay, all right, okay. Right. Let's get back to Celia. Yeah, Celia in the US from Kittels. How are you doing, my brother? Absolutely. We are looking for the waymarks as we journey on. A lot of waymarks are being pointed out to a lot of people, but people not seeing those waymarks. I've been trying to, put those markers along as we go, but apparently a lot of people not seeing the markers as we go along. We are living in I say to people all the time, in a very dangerous neighborhood. And this is what we're on right now is a dangerous road to Jericho. A lot of people don't understand it. We're on the dangerous road to Jericho at this time. I want people to understand that. All right. So yes, guys. So let me get to the what's happening now. Let's leave Sister Kamla alone. Um, yeah, right. Yesterday, apparently, Venezuela made the Prime Minister of Trinidad persona non grata. Of course, Kamla says that doesn't bother her. And I really don't think it will be bothering her at all. So let's continue. Let's get into the real meat of the matter. I want you all to follow something that I don't know how many of you have been following this issue that's been going on in Guyana. I am I am getting the feeling, I am suspecting all along that there will be several false flag events popping up with this issue with Venezuela. You notice that we've been hearing a lot about Trinidad and what is happening in Trinidad with the Americans. Unfortunately, we've not been hearing a lot about Guyana. Guyana been basically quiet during this period of what is happening with Trinidad. Um, I am of the opinion that there will be many false flags arising. I'm not sure how many of you actually took a look at what is happening in Guyana, right? This guy, they said that placed a bomb at a gas station in Trinidad, in Georgetown actually. Sorry, Trinidad is so much in the news, and they're saying that he came over from Venezuela with the bomb, so he traveled with the explosive into Guyana. I find that to be very disheartening. You mean to tell me someone actually traveled from Venezuela into Guyana, into Georgetown with a bomb? I don't. I find this very. Let me just clear something here. This says the bombing bag syndicate bombers crossed over from Venezuela with deadly device in a bag. So he came over from Venezuela all the way. The main suspect in Sunday night bombing in Regent Street and King Street in Georgetown. So let me get this straight. You mean to tell me that someone left Venezuela, got over the Venezuelan border with Guyana, and got all the way into Georgetown, Guyana, with a bomb in a bag. I I am trying to figure out this one. This one is a very interesting one for me. I have to really do some research into this one because this is a bit. I mean, listen to me. People can actually walk with bombs. Yeah, I understand. But from Venezuela, he crossed the border, so there's no border police. There's nobody inspecting anybody at any borders to see what you're coming in with, especially now that tensions are heightened. You don't have anybody actually at the borders, border police inspecting everybody who's coming over, stopping them, searching things because there's a situation with Venezuela and the US. And of course, Venezuela and Guyana had, you know, I'm trying to figure it out. Okay, so Delton says the borders are porous with Venezuela. Any Venezuela can cross over without problems, and a lot of guns and drugs pass easily. Okay, okay, all right, all right. So the border is porous. So you mean to tell me up to now Guyana has not really done anything to beef up its borders, even though they're saying they have a problem with Venezuela? I don't know. I just I find these Caribbean countries are sometimes I don't know. But anyway, that's just my opinion there and that. But let's get to what they're saying in Guyana. They said that he confessed to traveling from Venezuela illegally with the explosive device. And we also, and he says, the police chief says, we have the right man. They're confident that he's the bombing suspect captured. You know, if I were the prime president of Guyana, I would be fining a lot of people this morning. Mhm. As a matter of fact, if I were the president of Guyana, I would be firing the national security people, a lot of people, because since the country had that issue with Venezuela, based on what we've been hearing so long, I am thinking that by now the Guyana would have already boosted up the borders. Have got certain people. Yeah, I know that they have 3,000 square miles, and I understand all of that. That doesn't give rise to allowing your borders to just be let loose. Okay, Delton, Delty One. I hope I get your name correct. You can click on the link I left in the chat section and come on and talk to me. But the thing is, the US has a long border with Mexico too. Okay, don't forget that. How are they doing it to get people stopping coming across the border? Probably you should ask them. What I'm saying, yeah. Well, this is what I'm getting to. This is what I'm getting to. I don't know. It seems to me, I'm just saying that the US has a long border as well. And they seem to want to get their numbers to zero and saying they're getting their numbers to zero. And the border with Mexico and the US is longer than the one in Guyana with Venezuela. I believe so. So, at least on one side. So, I am thinking that with all of the issues going on in Guyana and Venezuela, they really should have beef up their borders. They should have beef up their border. There should have been several checkpoints along the way, and I mean distant checkpoints. I don't know. Something is wrong. Something is wrong here. Something is not right. Ghana needs to do better than that because if there's a problem, um, hold on. Guyana doesn't have the capacity to patrol and secure that great mass of land. It's logistically impossible. My friend, listen to me. Listen to me. Listen to me. There are means of ways of patrolling a border. Okay? There are means and ways of patrolling a border. There are actually means of ways of doing it. You have to, there are several things. One, you have soldiers at certain point, checkpoints. That's number one. Right? I'm just trying to give you something here. If you so let's just do some education here. And different countries have done it. Right? One, we're living in the age of technology. Guyana is bursting with money at the seams from what they're telling us. That's what they're telling us. They're bursting with money at the seams. Everybody's reporting that they're the fastest growing economy in the world. There is money, right? There has to be money somewhere. So let's go. We live in an age of technology. There are drones. That's number one. There are drones. That's number one. Many, many drones. You can patrol a border with drones all day long if you want, right? Full scan. Guyana has access to Starlink. There's satellite connection. That's number two. There are planes you can use, whether you're doing it every 3 hours, every 4 hours, whatever it is, right? Yeah, but you see, you getting this thing conflated, Delton. I'm not telling you. I am telling you what the real world is doing. Guyana's bursting with money, and you can patrol the borders. You can patrol the border. It is not logistically impossible. It is not in this day and age. Maybe 100 years ago it was, but not now. A lot of excuses from people in the Caribbean. The Caribbean always have excuses. When it's not, oh, we can't do this, we can't do that, this, is this. Everything is always, we can't do something. It's a lot of rubbish. These things piss me off. I get very angry because there's a lot of rubbish we hear in the Caribbean. We can't do this. We can't do that. We can't do this. We can't do this. We can't do that. Everything is we can't do everything. That's why everybody wants to depend on the Americans. And when the Americans come and do whatever they want to do, we get vexed and angry. Politicians are jokers in the Caribbean. They're like gimmicks. They just want to get elected to be in power, to rule over people, and to distract people from a lot of things. I will start to have my service every day and spread the word of the Most High and forget about these politicians and educating people, because I believe that is the best thing for me to do. People can't tell me in this day and age, you can't do what, you can't do this, you can't do that. 200 years ago, tell me you maybe can't do it. Tell me you can't do it. Listen to me. Listen to me. Guyana is not bigger than the United States of America. It's not bigger than Canada. I am saying Guyana can patrol the border. There are satellites. There are drones. There are police. There are soldiers. You have planes in your military arsenal, you said. You can do a run every 2 hours from certain places in the border sections, cross to Venezuela. There are drones you can use. Man, listen, there are a million things you can use right now if you want to patrol your section of the border with Guyana. A million things. Stop telling me foolishness. I don't have no time with nonsense this morning. People give too much excuses. People give too much excuses. Too much excuses. Right? Too much excuses in this Caribbean here. Every Jesus thing in this Caribbean here is a problem. Everything in this Caribbean here is a problem. You tell them grow their own food is a problem. They want to depend on America. They want to depend on America. They want to depend on America. America, 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 America. Bringing food from America. Bringing food from America. Bringing food from America. Bringing food from America. Everything. You tell them plant the food, bringing food from America. They tell you they're going to do food security by the year, 2025 pass, and they can't see food security. You tell them, they're saying 2028 and 2030. Everything in this Caribbean is a can't, we can't do people. No wonder people do us what, no wonder people tell us what to do. Plant the food. What they say? Oh, we can't plant the food. We can't plant the food. We can't do anything. We can't do nothing. We can't do nothing. Facts are not making me lose my temper, my friend. This is who I am. I used to be on radio and TV. I had the most powerful show on radio and TV in St. Vincent. I have temper down by far. You wouldn't like to hear me up inside here today. But you're saying that doesn't work in the real world. What doesn't work in the real world, my friend? What doesn't work? They can secure their borders. Stop speaking foolishness. Don't make anybody fool you. If they want to do it, they will do it. Don't make anybody fool you. But they can't protect their borders. Stop your nonsense, guy. I'm not gonna answer you for the rest of the morning. You're not speaking sense anymore. But what I'm saying, right? Everything in the Caribbean is that you can't. We're planting food. We hear about food insecurity and food this and food that and food that. Everything. Food this, food that. And up to now, nobody can say that. Nobody can plant the food up to now. Guyana gave them land to plant food, Nobody's going into Guyana to do it. Absolutely nobody's going into Guyana. I heard Barbados said they're taking piece of land and they are going to do that. Huh? Lazy leaders. Lazy leaders. Anyway, that's what they say. They say the guy came over with a bomb and blew up some place. Information this morning is that it appears to be a false flag event coming out, and the CIA is who set him up based on what Venezuela is saying this morning. It's a false flag event. They're trying to get Guyana involved so that the US can come and say, well, oh, you went to one of our partners or one of our friends and, you did this, and all of that stuff is happening this morning. There's so many things happening. I'm very sorry that a 6-year-old child got killed. But if the Guyanese authorities were paying more attention to their borders and doing what they have to do, that would not have happened, right? That's what I'm saying. The Guyanese were paying more attention to their borders, taking border security more seriously. That 6-year-old child would not have been dead this morning. President Ali should be firing some people this morning. But anyway, all politicians are basically just out here to line their pockets with money. That's all they do, a lot of us in the Caribbean. It's always we can't do, 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 we can't do. That's the Caribbean for you. Anyway, let's get on to the meat of the matter. This is the meat of the matter right now. Russian military plane lands in Venezuela. Venezuela has the right to defend itself, like any other nation. Has the right to defend itself if there is aggression. Today, we're hearing that the Russian military aircraft linked to the Wagner group landed in Venezuela. And of course, this is coming amid all the soaring tensions that we are having. This is coming along all the tensions that we are having right now. As a matter of fact, I heard yesterday one of the army generals in Venezuela talking about declaring war on Trinidad and Tobago. That is something, as everything is just going haywire right now. So the Russian aircraft, it's tied to the country's armed forces and the infamous Wagner mercenary group. Of course, they landed in Venezuela with a lot of military equipment and military assets. They're in Venezuela right now. So this thing now has gone different lengths. So what you have now is Russia, China, United States playing a game right here in the Caribbean, and people still taking sides. I have said time and time again that the leaders of this region did not step up in time. I've been speaking about this whole issue since early September, since everything popped off, and I'm now seeing people. I'm seeing them now saying that they wish to have all this come to the table, and they wish to have a meeting with the United States of America. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why they're so late in the game, actually. They want to do it now. Now is when they want to do it. They want to speak with the United States of America, they're saying. Right? I said since September and since August, since Trump was carrying on and saying, I want to do this in Venezuela because we're having problems with Maduro. When we start speaking about this whole issue, I said that the Caribbean leaders should get together immediately, right? And start to lobby the US government and get this out of the way fast. But the issue now is that they are a little too late. They are a little too late. Matter of fact, they're not a little too late. They are actually late. One time I said that people will be like the 5 virgins and the 5 foolish virgins in the scriptures. That was a parable to teach people a lesson. Five foolish virgins, five were wise and five were foolish. Right? Five were wise and five were foolish. I'm really this morning at a different level. I'm very disheartened by what is happening in our region, and that's my problem this morning. I have several meetings to deal with today. People want to talk to me about a lot of things. And I have a full day ahead, really. I don't know. People looking for advice on many things. People want to know what kind of communication to have outside of the regular internet. They're asking me. As a matter of fact, a whole group out of St. Lucia want to have a Zoom meeting with me today. So I have a lot on my mind. There's a small group in Guyana as well who contacted me. They wanted to know about different means of communication and what they can set up as quickly as possible. Um, there's a group out of St. Lucia. I spoke with elder statesman yesterday out of Dominica, one from St. Lucia. I spoke with somebody who is a minister in the government of Grenada as well. So there's a lot of things that I have this on my head this morning. But I'm saying to you that the leaders stepped into the parable. They stepped into the parable of five wise virgins and five foolish virgins. That parable actually taught us that we should always have oil in our lamp and we should always be prepared. We should always be prepared. The leaders, when the United States of America started this whole shebang, they took it for a joke. I remember calling one leader. I'm not going to specify the country because everybody seemed to be hot under the collar when you call their country's name. So I'm not going to call the country's name. I remember calling and the leader spoke to me. They spoke to me. Quite frankly, they spoke to me really, really good. I was a bit surprised. And they said that they don't think, they don't think, they don't think that Trump is serious. Yeah. They don't think that Trump is serious. That's what they said. And they kept laughing. They didn't pay attention to it. And now today, many of the past leaders are trying to form a grouping to say, we want to talk to the United States of America. We want to mediate in this process because we want no war in the Caribbean. Friends, my friends, I will say to you, that group is late to the table. The leaders, the current leaders in government should have took up this thing on their hands a long time ago, from the get-go. Nobody did. And so today we're paying a heavy price for it. Some of the things that I notice is happening right now. Some of the things that I notice happening right now as we speak. Right now as we speak. Some of the things happening right now as we speak. Right? Telephone are having major problems in the region since the warships arrived because, of course, they're blocking. Right? People are having problems with calling. They're dropping out. They're dropping out ever so often. Not only and this is what I want to get to people, right? You're not going to have so much problems with the landline per se. You're going to have problems with the data section, Wi-Fi, the networks. right? The Wi-Fi networks, you're going to have problems. They've been having problems. I've got reports from St. Lucia. I've spoken to the NTRC over there. They confirmed it to me. I've spoken to people in Dominica. They've confirmed it to me. I spoke to people in Trinidad, in Barbados, here in St. Vincent as well. I'm not here all the time, but whenever I'm here, I see the problems. I'm hearing the problems. So we have a lot of issues with connectivity in the region lately. We're having a lot of connectivity problems. And we're also having problems with, I'm hearing no. I'm hearing no. No, no. I'm hearing now that grids, electrical grids, from a technician here in this country, that they're looking at an act because it appears that something triggered the grid to lose power. It wasn't the overall power so that the country would go into blackness, but it appears that something is now affecting the electrical grid. This is one country I'm talking about. So there's a lot of problems going on in the region, a lot of problems. But the main issue will be communication. Yesterday, when I spoke with the Caribbean American groups in New York, they're saying that they would have talked to several Caribbean leaders already, urging them to let their citizens stock up, because what the congressmen are saying, what the congressmen are saying is that there will be an invasion into Venezuela. The Caribbean will be enthralled in that invasion because planes will be flying overhead. They will want some of these nations to be used as some of their airstrips. That is why they've been partnering with a number of Caribbean countries. Real things are happening. Real things are happening. Meanwhile, what is happening to a lot of our people is that they are lost, caught up in petty stuff, taking sides with politicians and taking sides based on a political party they support, not seeing the big picture all the time. That is my major concern. That is my major concern with Caribbean people right now. They're heavily caught up with political parties, so they would take a side based on the party they support. This is not the time to really study political parties. Political parties really are non-entities at this time. There are a lot of people. There are a lot of people that serve a politician as a god. A politician is not a god. And that is one of the major problems that we have in the region. People have to get out of that. You have to start seeing the bigger picture. What about me? What about my life? What about my life? Huh? What about my life? What about me? What do I want for myself? Where do I want to see myself? Huh? What do I want to do with myself? Are they working in the interest of me? No, most of them, they're not. So the whole point about it is that you now have to look out for yourself. And that is why I was saying all the time, stock up on some food supplies. People laugh. The only time people stock up on food supplies in the Caribbean is when a hurricane is coming. That's the only time people stock up on food supplies in the Caribbean, when a hurricane is coming. You understand what I'm saying? But a hurricane is not the only disaster that can happen. That's not the only disaster that can happen. A hurricane is not the only disaster that can happen. Earthquakes is a disaster. War is another disaster. It's a man-made disaster. That's what it is. And I say to people all the time, please keep your eyes on the price. Stock up. Stock up on food. Every time you go to the supermarket and you buy one and you can afford to buy a next one, buy it and put it aside. Don't use it now. Collect some grains that you can mill into flour yourself. Healthy flours. Grains can be kept for a very long time. Make sure you have adequate water supply. That's all I'm saying. I don't think people I don't think people understand. Most people try not to use their brains a lot of times. Let me get back into this thing now. Let me get back into it. Let's see what they're saying here. All right. So the aircraft departed Moscow. It avoided Western airspace and potential inspections by stopping in countries known for their friendly relations with Russia or where Russia military and mercenary footprints already exist. Along the route, it may have refueled or even made undisclosed deliveries or pickup. The information that I'm getting out of Caracas is more that they brought military supplies and communication supplies. It brought, I understand as well, based on these are people inside. They brought communication supplies, other military supplies. Mercenaries came from the Wagner group. Yes, they came. That's correct. They came to Venezuela. Venezuela has the right to do what it wants to do as well, just like Trinidad, Barbados, everybody else who wants to do what they have to do. That's fine. Everybody have a right to protect themselves, I guess. They brought high-tech surveillance equipment to add to the military, what they have down there. And a lot of assets that some people say they're not going to go into, but apparently that's what's going on. It's an escalating thing that's happening in Venezuela right now. It's escalating in the Caribbean. But our people need more education. Our people need more education. I believe that one of the things that happened to the Caribbean outside of slavery, after slavery left the Caribbean, as they say, we now into economic slavery. One of the things I think that was lost on Caribbean people and lost on Caribbean governments is that nobody put in place a history to continue. What do I mean? If you look at television in the Caribbean today, there's no part of Caribbean history being shown on it. All you see is the American television. You see all the foolishness that they get into. That's what our people have been taught and brought up on. A lot of our youngsters today, that's what they've been brought up on. So we've lost it. We've lost the battle in terms of our own mindset. And a lot of us are still in the mindset of the Europeans that one colonized us at one point in time. I want to say to all of you though that I want to say, I want to say to you, at the end of the day, all governments are working in lockstep. That's why I don't choose side. I just take what is necessary for us. I speak about the Caribbean because this is why we want to live in peace, and I speak about these things and why we shouldn't do this and why we shouldn't do that. But I want to let you know that at the end of the day, all these governments are working in lockstep. They're working in lockstep. That's why I say to you all the time, you look out for your own interests. Prepare for look out for your own interests. It's very disheartening what is happening. But this is prophecy 101 happening right before your very eyes. Prophecy 101 is happening right before your very eyes. I told people long time ago, some people don't like to hear it. Some people don't like to hear it, but it is a fact of life. And some of you should look at the scrolls and look at Matthew 24, and then you will get a true picture. Everything was already prophesied right there. It's already prophesied. We can talk, and we have a right to speak. We are living in this zone, and we want to live. We want to live peaceable. We don't want war because we don't have military to defend ourselves. But it's where it is. A lot of wars and rumors of wars. A lot of it. And right now, we are actually on the dangerous road to Jericho. That is where we are right now. We're on the dangerous road to Jericho. That's where we are. But I hope that everybody takes it seriously. We have some interesting times coming ahead in this region of ours. Very, very interesting times. Um, there was a period in time when we thought that we would only see war um, in the Middle East, in Russia, in Asian countries. We used to get up every morning and we would go to the beach. It was quiet. It was just cool and calm and collective. Um, Not anymore. These days, every time you walk, you have to look up because you don't know what's falling down. I'm telling you now, we are now in a period that we've never experienced before. Yeah, we're in a period. We're in a period in time. Anyway, all right. So I'm gonna open the line now, guys, for you to get in on the action. Anybody who wants to get in on the action can get in now. Left the link. All of the preppers, all of the preppers in the link, all of the preppers in the link. I want to hear from you this morning. Um, Click on the link I left in the chat section. It's pinned up there. You can get in there and get into the program and speak with me today. I want to hear from all the preppers. Anybody who have any whatever is happening in your country, this is your time to speak to me. Let me know what's taking place in your neck of the woods. Yep, that's right, Anne Marie. Top of the morning to you. That's right. Good morning. Good morning. I was never able to get a video for I think about 20 hours. That okay. All right. Yeah. Thanks you thanks daughter, new daughter. So anybody who want to get in on the live can get in now. Can get in now. Yeah. Thanks, Colin. Got it. Got it. Anybody who wants to get in on the live can get in now. All right. I want to anybody who wants to speak with me, anybody who may have something that they want to do. Benya says I'm optimistic. I think our better days are ahead with the type of technologies that are available for us today. That's what he said. So the Caribbean countries like Jamaica is plantocracy run by descendants of plantation owners and all of that. Somebody says greetings, Empress Zola says greetings. There are also Persian islands to accept third country deportees. I mean, America Trump tickled, but my okay. Deborah Gittinson, the whole world is changing. The people need to wake up from the slumber. All rum and whining is overdone. The people, a lot of people are still there. The technologies are liberating, says Ben. It says, Catherine says, thanks for the knowledge. Some people may think you're talking nonsense, but let them stay in their bubble. Yeah, I don't have a problem. People do that all the time. People can't fathom what I'm into, and that's the problem with people. You have to have your eyes and ears open. You see, the thing is, a lot of people listen to politicians, right? And politicians tell them that they can't do this and they can't do that. And they do believe it, They actually believe it. And that is the problem we have in the Caribbean, of course. We've been brainwashed to believe politicians are God and whatever they say is truthful. And that is one of the serious problems that we're having. Um, you know, I have to really start doing a different set of classes for some people. I really have to start doing a different set of classes for some people. There needs to be this kind of realigning and reawakening of the senses. I think that is what the problem is. There needs to be this realignment of the senses to look not just at the present in front of your eyes, but to look further down the road to see. You have to be able to see things down the road.
you're going to have a vision for certain things. You have to be able to see further down the road. A lot of people are not they're not there yet. They're not there
Good
yet.
morning, Mr. Unesto.
Good morning to Anne Marie. How are we doing? Hello.
Are
Okay, I
you
think
hearing me?
we are hearing you loud and clear. Go right ahead. Go right ahead. We're hearing you loud and clear.
My
You can't listen to your phone. Eh? You have to turn off if you're listening to okay, I think Anne Marie's having some issue. You have to turn off your phone and just talk into that system that I developed there. You can't have the phone on. All right, Anne Marie. So whenever you can come back, you can come back in. From since COVID, I started preparing small. I have to get more. Let me see if I could get back in, Anne Marie. All right, Anne Marie, you're back with us. Go ahead. No, I think Anne Marie's having some issues with our audio. All right. Okay, Anne Marie. It seems like you're having some issues with your audio. So um yeah, it looks like you're having some problems. Yeah. Anne Marie is having some problems. All right. We need to touch the youth. They are the future, and it's through us. That's correct, Michelle. Michelle. We practice politics the same way we practice religion. Some Afro says true brother special classes. Yeah, Afro boy, special classes, special classes. Not all parties are bad. You people just vote for what people like, and some reason find those that you don't. No, well, I said yesterday that there are a few politicians that have come through the region that made some sense and was willing to do work for the good of mankind. But the bulk of politicians that we have right now, not really making much of a sense. They're not making much of a sense. They're easily bought and sold on the altar. And that's what we have right now. That's the problems we're having in the region. Easily bought and sold. I don't get caught up with politicians. Easily bought and sold. At least the crop that we have now, easily bought and sold. And much of them are very lazy. They don't think beyond what is in front of them because if most of them do, a lot of the things that are happening in this region will not be happening. So that is the problem I'm having. All right. Yeah, guys. So it's 12 o'clock. Most of you will be having lunch. I'm gonna leave you to go and do that in peace. And we will talk again tomorrow. Take it easy, guys. Take care. Afro, gonna give you a call. All right. Take it easy, guys.